ban. Team Empire's turn to ban. EG's turn to ban.
Universe, one of the most respected and consistent players in the history of Dota. Always a pleasure to watch his incredible team fight-focused heroes, of course. Enigma, Faceless Void 2. Will Evil Geniuses be able to make another run at top 3, or will Empire stop them in their tracks? It's time for Game 1 of EG versus Empire.
Seconds remain. EG's turn to pick.
Team Empire snatching Earthshaker right out the gate, and EG answering almost immediately with Sand King and Mirana.
This is like Dota from, I don't know, 8 years ago? Isn't this what people were picking back then? I feel like this is Dota. This is like Dota.
Hi, Kat. Tell me the stories of ancient Dota.
Dota 1, I mean, this is all people played. You know, it was like Sand King, Bottom, Shaker, and then probably some Lina or Lesh.
Lina, Lesh, Sven.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, you could, like, Blink Dagger wouldn't get disabled, right? And so all the heroes that you could just break out of stuff. Shaker AA, that seems reminiscent of some TI5 days, but that's supposed to be EG though.
Tomato, can you give us a brief summary of EG's playstyle? You play a lot of these guys in clubs and against them?
Stream against them. They play some high-level Dota. I feel like their top 3 skilled team. They have the same issue as all the high-skilled teams, where they try to do too much stuff, and they end up losing the game themselves. It happened in Game 1 against who they play Newbie. They tried like some Naga combos, and that ended up losing the game. You just have to play calm and win there.
Oh yeah, I remember the exact moment you were talking about, where they slept the entire newbie team in mid lane, and then engaged a little needlessly, got silenced in an enormous disruptor ultimate. Lost most of their roster.
So they're 2 next level for them.
10 seconds remaining.
It's almost kind of funny how, as you get good at a game, it's just as important to stop doing things as it is to learn to do things. Sometimes it's all about just getting small edges.
See here, EG's opening is something that we talked about a little bit earlier, is that EG like going for these heroes that can go to multiple lanes and have kind of multiple positions, so it becomes a little bit harder to read them. Right now they have both, like, their bottom and Sanking, and they can be played in different positions, both of them. So it's kind of hard for Empire right now to predict what EG are going to do, and I think, to me, it looks like EG are kind of just fishing for information. They're taking 2 heroes that they really like playing, and they're kind of just waiting for Empire to reveal what direction they're going to go.
Yeah, I mean, Mirana, Universe and Sumaya both have played Mirana in this.
I think Artura has also played it at some point.
Oh, really?
And I'm not sure if they have, I don't know if they have played ever Sailing Bottom, but they used to be.
They have.
Yeah, they might have, so they can play it in almost all positions.
I mean, with this sort of unpredictability, do you just make an even more focused draft with your Empire, or do you also equally try to carefully judge what they're doing, play against it?
You can't counter BKG. It's too hard. I scream against them, and they just pick like random heroes, and they change the whole lanes all of a sudden in the last pick. So, and I don't think Empire does that. I think Empire plays around like Resolution. They get King Anti-Mage, Morphin Mage middle, they just play like solid standard Dota.
So if you were playing against EG, what would your plan be right now?
Wow, I think Empire doesn't care. They're just one of those teams that they just won a nice lane for Resolution. That's how they've won every game so far. I won against them, and our plan was just make Resolution play Necro. And we won because of it. They couldn't carry Necro.
So give Resolution, if you're EG, force Resolution into a hero which you can't carry the game with.
Yeah.
Well, what are the big scary heroes that you never want to see on Resolution?
I think Lich Morphling middles.
Right, yeah.
I do see Lich was first banned by EG. Lich Kunga first banned by EG, so that option's no longer available for Team Empire.
Faceless Void ban from Evil Geniuses.
EG's turn to pick.
Red Rider!
The Wyvern's pick's a little strange. It reminds me a little bit of the Razor pick that we saw today. It's like, it's good against some heroes, but it's not particularly good versus the heroes that they have right now.
Also, they picked it into AA. I'm not sure why that is. In general, from my experience at least, Wyvern is one of the heroes that you pick when your enemy has a lot of kind of physical damage.
A lot of summons.
yeah, a couple summons, you want to throw that ult out, maybe get a kill or save some people. But right now it looks like Empire's lineup consists of almost exclusively magic damage. But we'll see if maybe they have a plan with this Wyvern.
Empire has also been turning towards PL a little bit more for resolution. Oh, you like that hero a lot, Tomato?
Dude, I love Phantom Lancer too.
It's a nice anti-mage.
What makes anti-mage so good against this Evil Genius lineup?
Lack of lockdown. They only have like one reliable stun. Sanky stun. Arrow doesn't count.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I suppose you could encase anti-mage with Winter Wyvern and fire an arrow away. I mean, technically that's a setup. Give them some free health though.
Yeah, anti-mage is one of those heroes that go... It matches up pretty well with the PL. I think if you want to pick that anti-mage, you would want to do it last pick, and unfortunately they don't have the last pick. So yeah, they're going to go for Sven, which is kind of straight up. I mean, it's pretty clear. Sven is one of those heroes that deals very well with the Phantom Lancer.
Oh yeah, the great cleave from Sven dealing area damage. Phantom Lancer summoning a billion Phantoms that die instantly.
10 seconds
and
remaining.
even from Team Empire, just looking across the board, there's great AoE. Really nice team fight opportunities available to them.
I don't think you can really have too much though versus PL. I think some of the teams have been picking Timbersaw a lot also versus PL, which I think is pretty good here. Doesn't really care about Wyvern too much.
It seems like a bit of a tough PL game. The Batrider, Sven, and Shaker are all heroes that are pretty good at dealing with this hero.
Shaker's like the main counter to PL. I'm surprised they picked PL as a team first because
I'm thinking that EG, I'm curious if they're gonna throw another core, like sort of a scaling hero out for Universe, or what they're going for. Another hero that we could see potentially is the Enigma, as there's no real good way of dealing with that Enigma BKB Black Hole for Empire, and it is a hero that Universe likes to play.
At this point, looking at the Evil Geniuses lineup,
to ban.
what do they need? They get the last pick. Obviously, they're going to be able to wait to see what Empire's last pick is. What is Evil Geniuses really fundamentally lacking?
I like Enigma, like
10
there's no
seconds
counter
remaining.
like Empire can pick. He's gonna have a nice lane to him.
5
So,
seconds
yeah, I think
remaining.
it's gonna be. I think it round up the lineup pretty well because like they have late game and then deals Sven pretty well. It's like PL's not gonna deal with Sven, neither does Murano. And then Enigma Black Hole and midlane pulls.
In terms of final bans, Outworld Devourer,
Team Empire's turn to pick.
Oh,
Enigma banned out. Nice read. I mean, we'd expect at this point, you know, pretty clear who's going to be playing who on Team Empire. For Evil Geniuses, Sumail on Mirana mid, Phantom Lancer RTZ, and then Wyvern Sand King.
10
Well, see,
seconds remaining.
that's where EG can kind of go multiple ways. I'm not
Universe
saying
plays
that's...
Five
Yeah, exactly.
seconds
It's not necessarily that's not what they're gonna do, but it's just that they have options. So basically, they get to see the last pick of Empire, and then they get to choose kind of which matchups do we want, which of our heroes match up the best against theirs. It looks like Empire are going to pick their mid hero last, unless this is an Earthshaker
turn
mid.
to pick.
Ember Spirit.
Ember Spirit. Very explosive in damage. Can be a little fragile at times, but has an unbelievable ability to escape situations.
Seems like a tough game for a PL to kind of carry in.
You got this, Phantom Lancer. I believe in
10
you.
seconds remaining.
Don't listen to this PyCat guy that predicted Team Liquid's last game perfectly.
5 seconds
The
remaining.
question is if they have invested too much into countering this PL, because EG have a lot of, I mean, they have 4 other heroes, and if you sometimes when you go all in too much on one hero trying to counter it, you forget a little bit about the others.
Last pick. Who are you thinking, Merlini?
Also, so the main role spot that we're talking about was thinking Murana. The question is now whether they want Murana mid or whether they want it support. Not particularly sure which favorite at the Murana right now.
yeah, Murano.
Choose your hero.
Boker.
Now, as always, who the hell is playing who? Sumail mid, Invoker certainly. RTZ Phantom Lancer. Universe will be on the Murana this game, which means Crit and Zai. Wyvern and Sand King. Of course, Team Empire. Expected players on expected heroes. It's time for game 1 of our final series of the day. Both teams face elimination. It's EG versus Empire. Take it away, casters.
Elimination games always bring in the biggest pressure. EG, no strangers to this. Team Empire, well, they are maybe a little bit more stranger to it, but Resolution, no stranger to the main stage here at TI, being in the grand final before, even though not a victor.
Yeah, he made a really big name for himself last year, and so far he's been really delivering in the tournament. In a way, it's strange that when we talk about Team Empire, we put so much highlight on the player who's actually not in the team officially.
Yep.
So I would like to talk a little bit more about the other players. Like everyone keeps talking about this Resolution show, but you have to think about, okay, if you're bringing in a stand-in and you had a carry player like Chappie who's very adept at a set of heroes. Resolution maybe has other heroes he shines on. You bring in this stand-in, it's oftentimes a better strategy for a team that brings in a new player to build around him and utilize the 4 core that you already have in your team to give him a good game, rather than expect him to completely adapt to the team's playstyle. So I think it's very natural for Empire, when the stand-in is a carry player, that they try to set him up for success, especially when it's such a capable player as Resolution, who is mechanically regarded as one of the absolute best in his position. But that doesn't belittle any of his teammates. Like, Empire have held their own on all of their players, and we've seen standout performances from every player. Looking over to EG, they looked a bit, I guess they looked a bit shaky, I want to say, against Newbie. They had some moments of brilliance and just some moments of very unusual lack of coordination and bad play calls that we don't expect out of EG.
It's that moment when you wish that Universe video went just one extra TI further, so we could look back at like they said, like, oh, we want to get that loss against CDEC out of our head and just move on. And the same kind of thing may have had to happen. They were really leading in game 1 against Newbie, and then caught on their own shoelaces in the mid lane fight. Sean was bringing up that 15-minute Disruptor ultimate. It did so much work. You have to reset, think about it again, and try and start in a good foot. And a good way to do that is having Zai coming to contest the rune. You're looking for the Burrow Strike. It's going to go onto Resolution. Maposhka is here. Can't do much, though. When Universe connects with the arrow, Resolution needs a life. Turns for a Storm Bomb with a Soul Strike! Sumail hits the money! Not only will he take room, but he'll take the first blood. And this is a dangerous thing. You do not feed a Sumail Invoker.
Invoker has had very varying results, I want to say, in this tournament. There's been some Invoker performances that really fell flat, and other games he looked good, but on average, this hasn't been a great Invoker tournament, I would say. So very important for this hero to get a head start. You see Empire immediately trying to counteract it. Roger on the Shaker is just going to run in and be annoying to Sumail. Actually, Sumail needs to take care of his career.
That he does.
All good.
Roger was just hovering around. It's the vision, Crit as well as Zai. You talk about like Invoker not having a great time in mid. They're waiting for Roger to initiate. Auto walk underneath the Observer and Sentry. Already the Sunstrike again on the money. Roger needs to be more damage. The Fissure connects on 2. He's into the trees. 3 HP he drops down to, but it's the safety of the tier 1 tower. The Earthshaker will survive, revealing the gank on the mid lane.
And the thing is, when you're rotating 2 supports together like this for the first whole minute, they were waiting a long time in the tree line for Crit's Arctic Burn to be available again. This gave a lot of space in the other lanes. If these kills fail, it gives a lot of space to Empire. You can already see that they're taking some advantage. Even with all this pressure they tried to put mid, the Ember Spirit is having a good time since he wasn't the one being gone on. Ghost Stick in the top lane. This is a good matchup for Phantom Lancer. You need to keep that in mind. This is a specific counter pick EG took because of that Bat Rider. Arteezy will be having a great time up here, and he needs to. It's not a good PL game apart from that, like the panel pointed out. So important for EG to get the right start in the right lane.
Needs the farm to offset the disadvantage in the abilities, but Ghost Stick's still going to get some good levels on top. So as long as Arteezy doesn't kill him off, then it's still going to be a win, but Arteezy is still going to be very willing to fight him underneath the tower. Only for this early point. You can watch for the rotations around the bottom rune, the 2-minute one. It's going to spawn topless a regeneration rune, so both Roger as well as Crit have to back off. And it'll be Sumail to grab the regeneration rune. In fact, he doesn't even want it, denies it, doesn't want to waste the time.
Oh well, maybe it would have cost him a CS in mid. It's 100 mana. Yes.
Creep Wave was under the tower, so yeah.
Gotta go for that. This new Alacrity, I actually haven't seen this animation yet. That's from the new Immortal that came out recently. It's interesting.
Bottom lane, Fissure just trying to create some space. Zai, even with the boots, can't get close enough, and he doesn't have that second level up just yet, just shy of it in fact. Same with Crit. So there's no bonus damage arriving from either Zai or Crit just yet. Now they do hit their level 2s, but Arctic Burn onto the cooldown.
Gonna need to wait a bit on that, Sumail. I don't think it's time just yet. They're looking. He could try to straight run down mid and see if he could do it. I don't think so.
Zai is just chasing after Maposhka. He doesn't have any real help, but that Sunstrike, middle lane, it actually looks towards FN. Sumail He was tossing up whether or not his bottom lane supports could set up for that Sunstrike or not, and couldn't. Tried to have a crack at the Ember Spirit instead.
I actually wonder when we... Okay, so this is a little bit of not very chronologically thinking right now, but if you look back on the draft, this Ember Spirit pick from Empire made EG really think before they picked this Invoker. I think this Ember pick might have even been what EG wanted for themselves for Sumail in the mid lane. Could have been a very interesting pick for them. It's a hero we've seen Sumail play in a lot of high-stakes matches, and I think it would have rounded up their lineup pretty nicely. Your bottom?
Yeah.
Does have to leave, he's fine.
Universe doesn't care about the rock walls, and he still's got the extra
good arrow.
Nice hit into Mapochka. Do they have the damage required? One more hit, and the hit from Universe. It will connect, and EG, they are patient on the off lane. The Team Empire and support so far, which have had a bit of a problem. Not really getting what they want, but at the same time, Crit as well as I committing a hell of a lot to achieve these just 2 kills so far for EG.
And it seems the game plan from EG as well is, let's try to contest Resolution a bit. They made that first rotation to mid that wasn't successful. Since then, they've kind of played this... It's almost been a hard tri-lane bottom. I want to say pseudo-tri-lane because they're still moving around, but they're definitely committing a lot of resources. We saw this being very successful in the game yesterday between DC and IG Vitality, the elimination game, where Paparazzi Sven got countered super hard in the safe lane. So I was thinking about it.
He needs the illusion. He'll need the illusions to tank the tower if he wants to dive under that.
Destroy the barracks, then get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other issue too is the fact that Sumail still needs a little bit more mana regeneration. He's not having that Sunstrike exactly ready. Still needs to invoke it up and then still have mana to cast it. But he's getting back up bit by bit.
Oh, stun on bottom. They're going to connect the arrow. Roger's in trouble.
Yeah, nowhere to really escape from that one. Good setup stun into Universe's follow. And there's not much Resolution can do to save him, even if you want a Warcry. There's still got a good mix of magical damage and the physical. Zai now making his way down. He's got stick charges, but that won't be enough to get him the mana to get the Burrow Strike off, so they're just more posturing against Resolution, keeping him out of this game.
And now that EG has made it very clear what the game plan is for them contesting this bottom lane, the question is, what's the counterplay from Empire? We're going to see this replay right here of that kill stun into arrow. As Pycat said, 8-year-old play. And that's not in the age of the players. It's not, I guess technically 8-year-olds could also pull that off. It's not that hard to stun into arrow, but you know, it's an old thing from Dota history. This combination of heroes has been played for a very long time, and it still works.
And it does.
Old tricks. So the question is, what I was going to say is, what are Empire going to do? Are they going to sack Resolution a little bit and look to apply pressure elsewhere? Or are they going to double down on this bottom lane and try to bring over maybe the Ember Spirit, who has hit the level 6, sorry. He's ready to make his first rotations now. A great amount of burst damage to come out of him against these heroes in the bottom lane. Being put on Resolution.
Warcry and the Splinter Blast, that is level 2 from Crit, so he's prioritizing the chip range damage. But it's a good question. Sacking Resolution, we've seen Svens have a real issue if they try and fight from behind. So Zai might have that haste, but FN in the neighborhood. The Dire Observe Ward hasn't seen him yet. He's been behind the trees, now reveals himself in the lane. And Defensive Spirit also available. Sumail stands his ground. Damn, he does a lot of damage. That's plus 113. Has to Spirit away FN. Zai unable to get there at the right time to help out Sumail, but Sumail really showcasing that 200 damage physical.
And you need to keep in mind when you're playing against Invoker as Emperor Spirit that he can always remove the Flame Guard with the Tornado. So Sumail will very easily be able to allow his team, more than anything, to kill off the Ember later on in the game. We'll already see him. I want to say this is fairly unusual that Invoker only gets 1 Inquas and then 2 X. Zai is coming dangerously close here.
He walked right over the top of the Radiant Observer when Burrow strikes down, but Spirit committal is there from FN. He really wanted that kill. Needed something to make this mid lane better for him as he was falling behind the net worth of the Invoker.
That was very nice from FN. He dodged the Tornado as well with that. Activate Fire and then he jumped across the NATO into the kill and gets out afterwards. You're right. This mid lane is going great for Sumail. I've seen this before. He's one of the absolute best mechanical players in this lane. If the matchup is even or even favors him, then he will most of the time come out ahead. Even with a bit of contesting from Empire, it didn't really do as much as they would have hoped.
Yeah, they needed to contest more. We've seen teams actually commit like tri-lanes to mid to try and stop Sumail from doing what he's doing.
Yes, 22 to 9, 23 to the 1 of FN. That's a 1.5 level difference in mid.
Spirit committal, Ghostix rotated off the top lane, Lasso is up. It's a level 2 Sand King. At the same time, it's a level 2 Sand King. You're not really getting much out of Zai. You're 8 minutes in, and he's getting no levels.
That is one of the weaknesses of running an aggressive tri-lane like this, is if you don't get successful pulls off, Your support's get a level. Yep, they're thinking about it. Arrow's ready now.
Resolution's going to let the Storm Bolt go. What's really got left? Rod just moving his way up. Observer and Sentry's giving him the vision on the other side of the tree lines. They know at least that Crit's by himself.
And this really, right now, this really feels like a game for Empire where the lanes, they must be feeling the pressure. They're actually losing their lanes really, really hard. The top 3 CS by quite a margin is on EG. They have a 3k gold lead, minute 8, without taking a tower and fight with a 1 kill. So this is raw lane farm that they're just winning on. And if they could just keep this pressure up, they're going to eventually scale into a very good position with their lineup later on in the game. Empire, on the other hand, kind of feels like they have to activate their Batrider to organize some good moves, as we talked about. Ember still playing catch-up.
Koshi's going to take some time before you can say he's activated. Still trying to go for drums before he gets anything else.
Oh, Zai's going to get moved
down bottom lane. So Zai, it just seems to be a bad day for an SK. All 3 kills of Team Empire have been on Zai, the Sand King of EG.
I mean, sometimes I just wonder when they're using these chat lines if there actually is any history behind. It's like the teams that use these frequently are just using things that make no sense in the context almost every time.
We can point out
the fact that something that makes sense out of it.
EG in game 1, Sunstrike, but barely could have clipped the ice. Instead, now it's the Spirit of FN going forward. They need detection onto the Invoker sitting inside that Ghostwalker, just trying to burn him with AoE. They don't have mana on the Earthshaker for the moment. His totem just came back off cooldown. He's trying to look for him, but Sumail is invisible. They have no idea that he is already back to the Tier 1 tower. Even so confident, he held onto his 9-1 charges. Now he'll burn them as he goes back.
That's the classic first gank on Invoker where Invoker uses Ghost Block. And then you're like, why didn't we have detection? And then you have detection the rest of it. Apparently we don't. They're actually not even buying any. Maybe they can't really afford it. So the support duo of Empire is really poor. The Shaker is very far away from Blink Dagger. It's 10 minutes in, granted, but hasn't had too much success around the map, and AA is not doing very great.
Quick moment.
Mouse disconnected. So how does a mouse disconnect? You kind of pull it out?
Don't yank.
Yep. Just, you know, it's a high-stakes game, but you don't need to, like, move your mouse around that.
I've seen people destroy
throw it off the table.
Games. Yep. Oh, better to throw a mouse than the game. Bottom lane TP's coming in.
Oh, that's not a good lead, Universe.
Firefly. The lead didn't go where Verana wanted to, and this all our Resolution to get a big kill. It's been Zai dying the rest of the time. They have Moonlight Shadow available. The Cold Embrace makes it work a little bit harder for it, but with Mapochki here too. Crit trying to make a break for the tree line. The 7 stick charges. Don't know if that'll be enough to really get him out of this one. The Cold Feet will trigger, and they burn as well as freeze onto the Winter Wyvern. Empire getting what they want. They do lose their bottom tower, however, but they get 2 kills in return.
Yeah, that's a fairly even trade overall. It was a support and an offlaner that died for EG, and Empire rotated down 4 heroes to try to take that fight. If they would have held their tower as well, it would have been a very good move for Empire, but as it stands, they're still just getting out farmed a lot. And now, EG are like, okay, we have a level 3 Sand King, minute 11, he needs a lane, so Zai is going to be a bit quiet for the next couple minutes in that top area, going to work toward his level 6 and 7, and get some progress toward that Blink Dagger.
It's a good time to do it as well. You realize Team Empire, it's around the 11-minute mark when there should be at least some trip, if not quad stacks of Ancients for Resolution to go off and farm, and that's what he's farming up right now. So the rest of the EG supports actually have to help Resolution at this point. He hasn't had the greatest start. The fissure block off, maybe not exactly what they were looking for, and they've already burned the Shrine. Now, EG have no idea what's going on because they got no vision on the other side of the map, but they should have enough damage to get through it. And again, maybe they don't. Resolution was trying to save God's Strength, I believe, to go for the second camp, and that's actually where they're moving their attention now, leaving the Granite Golem behind as well as the Thunder Lizard, who seems to be not wanting to stay at base. He's actually sitting outside of the area.
What else have we got coming out? So AA is almost level 6. It's a very integral part of the Empire lineup, being able to counter the Wyvern. As the panel pointed out, very strange in a way that EG chose to pick Wyvern in this game into the heroes that Empire were showing at the time. With this Ice Blast, they can very easily set up kills that... Ember is one of those heroes where you're usually in a situation where you're just lacking a little bit of extra to get that core kill. Most of the time you can solo supports, but cores will get away with like 200-300 HP. You can combine those level 4 chains into an Ice Blast, and all of a sudden this Ember feels like he can kill almost any hero on the map.
Resolution's finally taking his stack at the moment, and well, if he ever wants to be involved in the kill, he'll have to be pretty quick and also find some regeneration. It's the three-man smoke up from Empire. They're observing one, watching Crit and World's Universe come up the hill, but instead they want the bigger one. They want to kill off Arteezy, and they're able to do so.
He died.
Ice Blast and Echo Slam, something a G was specialist at a previous TI.
Oh, Universe is going to get Mikoshka here. Double damage rune.
Nice for him to get. Keep that momentum going. That's now 3 kills for Universe for his 1 death. But it's coming at a cost. The fact that Sven is able to start playing catch-up, even with that, like his catch-up game has only brought him up to 4.4k in the net worth. It's nowhere near what you're looking at from EG. They're so far ahead on their cores of EG.
It's strange when you look at the CS numbers, and it feels like EG should be further ahead on net worth and experience than they are, but the game is still fairly even. It's a 1k experience lead. The 3,000 gold is definitely substantial, but this game is easily within reach for Team Empire if they set up any of their good team fights. Their lineup is incredible at fighting. One thing that neither lineup is particularly good at is pushing towers, and that could lead into this type of game where the important fights start happening minute 30. And if you have a farmed Sven, you know how that often goes. Empire definitely have the tools later. Right now, EG are still in good control.
It's both those heroes. It's like the first phase Ancient Apparition pickup. No Alchemist shenanigans like we saw earlier. It's pretty much just straight raw on fighting. In the late game, getting hit by that Ice Blast is death to evil geniuses. And there's a great setup in the form of the Earthshaker. You still need to see items. That Ice Blast is now flying its way down to the south. Ghostic has Blink, no lasso. It's got 8 seconds on cooldown for the moment, so the Ice Blast will connect Arteezy. Just going to doppelganger away. The Ice Blast chill effect will still remain on him, and FN, here he comes, but just to defend the tower, which is very, very low. Ghostic, he needs the time, and now it's there. Blink Lasso, Crit is the primary choice. If they can see it, Arteezy's calling the fact the Batrider is missing. Right now, he's in land clearance business.
I'm not sure if EG had that lasso perfectly timed or not, but that 5 seconds made a very big difference. If Ghostic had the lasso, they would have definitely pounced on that PL, trying to get a kill. Now instead it's going to be EG making smoke rotation here. They have a ward that sees the movement trajectory of 2 of Empire heroes connecting with that mid lane, and if they can get a good backstab here, it's set up for a very nice team fight for themselves.
Backstab not
Roger's going to break it though.
Smoke's already broken. There goes your curse out. Ghostic, the arrow's going to connect. Sunstrike as well. Roger, no way to survive it when EG commits so many abilities, but now it's up to Team Empire. They want to try and turn this fight around. Flamebreak pushing Crit away from the Ice Blast. He still wants to hold his ground, but that'll mean he'll die to FN. So a 1-for-1 trade-off, support for support.
I think Empire's fine with that. It sucks losing your Shaker who's making progress toward the Blink Dagger, but if that's what Smoke is going to bring with it, that's alright for them. At the same time, EG keeping the farm up. Sumail is getting really, really farmed this game. He has almost 10 CS per minute, 16 minutes in on Invoker. His Aghanim Scepter is only 400 gold away, and as much as I said that a hero like Sven can take over a game in the later portions of the mid game, Invoker is one of those really dangerous heroes when he starts getting this amount of farm. I think widely regarded as one of the absolute best late-game heroes in Dota, and the only real way you deal with Invoker later on is either by having massive catch from him and backline reverse, or
Blink Lasso, there's your catch being put to use.
He died again.
King will fall, and Team Empire, yeah, well, we're going to make that. That's now 4 deaths. He's got his fantasy team a little bit wrong. You don't get plus points for deaths as supports.
It's not easy being back.
It really isn't, Synderen. Resolution's coming towards the mid, bringing the Master Bandit and Gold Strength. They'll commit both to bringing down the Tier 1 tower. There's no fortification for EG anymore. So Resolution happy to grab the tower, back off. And all these kills, all these initiations that Team Empire have been looking for have been happening without Resolution. He's always been in the jungle farming and comes in at the last moment just to take a little bit of the glory and the money.
And he's building a very farm-intensive build here. He's going for both the Master Method and the Echo Saber. This should make him the fastest farming hero on the map. It will have a higher pace than Invoker, even with his Aghanims, I believe, if they're just both free farming.
He's definitely moving faster than Arteezy. Like Arteezy after that kill on bottom lane kind of slowed down a little bit with his progression.
It's just the nature of Phantom Lancer when you go for this build. If you want to really farm fast with Phantom Lancer, I think the first item you go for is Boots of Travel. I think overall it is faster than the Diffusal build-up. Either that or you get a Yasha. But Arteezy's going for the hybrid build that can also fight if it comes to that, if necessary. And I think this is a better approach when you're playing against a counter core. If this was a great Phantom Lancer game, you could go for the farm build and be like, okay, if I get farmed, I'm going to carry my team. But Arteezy is in this position where it's like, if I get farmed, that's great. But if they do as well, I'm kind of still going to struggle to play my hero against the Shaker, Sven, and Ember.
Gang is coming towards mid. Fan is the man. target painted on his back. Sumail, Crit, and Universe will try and team up together.
They want to curse him.
They're going to start with a curse. This will actually line up for the arrow, which is able to connect. Sunstrike coming in too. SK can die in the meantime, but that's something we're all used to. FN dying, however. That is his first death of the game.
And that's going to be a tower as well for EG. They get the tier 1 mid. Empire are trying to get as much trade up top as possible, but they're eventually going to have to back off here and don't have enough in the tank to really stay here. So that's a good move for EG. That's way better than the smoke they did beforehand, because this one brings an objective with it.
They get 2 of them. They move to bottom lane. The damage they did previously to this tier 2 tower where the Batrider was looking for a kill. They now finish the job. Arteezy not even leaving in the real self behind lane. The illusions do the job. That's why they get the last hit in the tower.
Something I'm curious to see in this game is what route FN takes with his Ember Spirit. So he's gone for the travels first, and now it looks like he's going for a Lincoln. I guess he's tired of getting cursed after 1 curse. But is this a physical damage Ember game or magic damage Ember game is the question. If you get physical damage, you can cleave and kill off the PL illusions very easily, but you already have Sven for that, and then you're fighting with physical damage into the Wyvern Hold Embrace. If you go the magic build, well, maybe it's too late for that, and you already have that in space. And there we see the kill on Zai that we didn't see earlier. Pretty straightforward. Lasso into Sandwich.
Yep. Perfect combination. The Maelstrom does make enough sense though. Like we were debating this during another game previously. Oh, that's Ice Blast Zai. Again, 0 for 6. At this rate, we're going to have a contender for the Malk Award. He does have the Moonlight Share to back out. He is affected by the dust.
He is alive.
He will survive.
That's close. One more tick from Flame Break, or just another second on top of him by Ghost Tick would have been the kill, but he didn't dare to pursue there with Zai stunning off to the side. Blink Dagger might have not been ready either, so they save him this time. Zai's like, finally, I get to walk out on the map for 2 consecutive minutes without getting killed.
We may have a Wyvern Sandwich at the moment, putting down the Vortex as well as the Cold Feet. Crit's got the movement speed, takes to the air with the Arctic Burn. Spirit Forge, you're going to get that Sleight of Fist Searing Chains into the Ice Blast, and Winter Wyvern only can't take the chill or the burn, and it's the burn that kills him.
That's something you need to be very careful with against Empire's lineup. They are very mobile. Both Batrider and this Ember Spirit can punish out-of-position heroes very quickly, and it doesn't really matter who it is. Even this Phantom Lancer where you're like, oh, I'm against Batrider, you know, maybe I can Doppelganger off. If you get lassoed and you get Doppelganger off, the heroes will still run you down. Ember doesn't care if you Doppelganger away. He's just going to run after you at twice your pace, so gotta be careful with how and where they show their heroes. At least it was only support that time, but they find Arteezy now with this Flame and Lasso 5-second cooldown.
It's the Blink Echo Slam. That could be your easiest start. Give the extra vision. Arteezy just walks into them. The Ice Blast committed. Nothing is left to chance here from Team Empire. And Ghostic, he even knew that was such a kill. He was looking for the second one. He was looking for any friends Arteezy had, but Arteezy had no friends on that bottom lane. And now it's EG looking for revenge instead for their fallen teammate.
Trying to make it down here in time to kill Rezo, but I think Rezo is going to get this in time and back off. If he's greedy here and goes to that last hit, he's dead, but probably thinks...
Here comes Zai, looking to initiate. He doesn't actually, he does have that Blink Dagger. The Sunstrike is coming in, but the control is just not enough. Resolution already starting his TP. Ghost Tick also needs to get out. TP is off cooldown, and it looks like everyone from Team Empire, as long as Ghost Tick can escape from Crit, he is under the vision of the Observer Ward. Where's that arrow from Universe? It'll come too late because it's on cooldown for the moment. So Ghost Tick, 4-star, 1 second. Here comes the arrow from Universe. It'll connect, and Ghost Tick will fall. Universe will be the man finding the kill with the Maelstrom proc.
Yeah, cooldown on 4-step there. He used it instantly to save the Sven earlier.
Oh, Mapochka. Arteezy looking for the solo kill. The Sunstrike from Sumail. Easy, easy setup. Made all possible by Arteezy.
Empire is still doing a good job at pushing in these waves. Most of the heroes dying in this game are really supports. There's so many support deaths and so few core deaths so far. Arteezy, I think, has the most deaths out of any core with his 2, I believe.
Now the only one who hasn't died so far is Sumail, who's at 3-0-1. I think every single kill he's claimed is the one that's not in front of him. It's always been the Sunstrike at range. Supports giving their life for their cause, but they're getting money back. The fact that Zai's managed to die 5 times and still picks up a Blink Dagger at a reasonable time.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's great for him.
Given the circumstances, it's not too bad. I think he had it for a couple of minutes already, so he gets a sub-20 Blink on Sand King with 5 deaths. That's respectable.
Yep. Doing it hard. Looking for the next smoke. They've got Dust available, and it actually looks like Team Empire just have 3 players walking on top of that aggressive Observer Ward. Probably planted so they can track the farm rate of both Resolution as well as FN. They have to keep tabs on these 2 heroes. especially the Sven. You do not want him getting in front. At the moment, the 10k net worth is pretty damn good for a Sven. Yep. The only downside is he's wanting to be number one. You always want to have that number one net worth. Right now he's 2.6k behind the Invoker.
You reach this point now, though, when Invoker falls off a little bit in fights against the Sven in particular. The reason is there's a couple of key items being picked up. FN has got the Lincoln Sphere against a couple of things, including some... He can also counterplay, like the Cold Snap Invoker can be annoying. And the Sven now with the BKB. So you look at the graphs and you look at this net worth, and then you're like, when this BKB of Sven is popped, the only counterplay that EG really have is Winter's Curse. So if this Wyvern gets locked down, Empire can look really scary. On the contrary, you know, if EG find the right type of fight before Sven even gets the BKB off, they still have the burst to bring him down. There's no real save on Empire's lineup except that Force Staff.
Very smart read here from Evil Geniuses. There was no one defending the mid. There was no one actually saving the tier 1 tower on the top lane from Team Empire. They knew they were on the hunt. Universe is scanning the tree line with the arrow. There was a 5-man maneuver from Empire on the southern lane. That's the one they wanted. They couldn't find an opening. Napochka and Ghostic even firefly between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower, and they don't find their targets either. EG, successful dodge.
They got a good ward out, though. Question is if EG know where this ward is. This is the kind of ward that can be very valuable when you have Bad Rider. You get deep vision into the enemy jungle, so you get to see movement patterns. And Bad Rider can obviously punish when heroes start running down toward the ancient area or farming the big camps here, since he can fly over those cliffs.
Moonlight Shadow.
Overtake them.
Crit's going to get close enough for Resolution to get that curse off, especially as Resolution shows himself farming the wave. He has the BKB. The creep wave's nearby. Zai moving in. Moonlight Shadow. They can just start with the basic stun from Zai. Burrow strike it up. Here comes your arrow, but the BKB from Resolution wants to stand and fight. Already triggered off that. Mask of Madness needs to move the speed away, getting blocked up by Roger, who exercises only the fake PL. Still, Crit going down the sidelines. Epicenter from Zai. The damage can now be put into the Sven. Ice Blast on the way in. It's going to connect on Artesio. Will it? He doppelgangers away. Resolution sent up and towards the air by Samel and blasted into deafness. They may not be done yet. Ghostic. They realize there's no sentry ward nearby, and actually no, EG will be retreating. There's no way this 3-man team can get a revenge kill onto EG quickly.
This is one of the things I love about Mirana as a pick. There's almost no teams playing this hero. I think only really EG seem to favor the hero this tournament. Moonlight Shadow is such a good spell. When you have these limited supplies of smoke, the game can reach stages when it's very difficult to find picks. But the Mirana there, the key part of that kill is the Moonlight Shadow. That's how they got the jump in the first place on Resolution. Felt pretty safe because of the warding that they had in the area after that Bad Rider and AA invaded, but sneak in there with the invisibility and find the biggest kill of the game.
And that is
every kill on Reso is huge.
Because it's separating it up, is allowing Invoker to be the stronger hero on the field. And you can see Samel making the spades of it, like getting involved in the fight, BTing down to the bottom lane straight away, then letting the forward spirits kick in. And if no one comes to defend this, then again, more of Empire's maneuvers are going to be flagged.
The prize is mine.
And EG, very hard to catch them by surprise when all the lanes are so consistently being pressured.
Yep.
But they're going to try anyway. A 3-man smoke down mid.
This is a good smoke in my opinion.
It's got some very
it's hard to read.
It's the Lincoln Sphere though. They have to blink it, use the Force Star to trigger off the Lincoln Sphere. Now they can keep the lasso up. Ice Blast will connect. They have to keep Samael there, and they're able to do so. Samael with 70 seconds on the sideline. Because he pulled up the full Lincoln Sphere. Even the Fish are catching out Zai. A quick dusting. They don't have to hide anywhere. Burrow strikes available, but Zai, now he gets it. But FN waiting with open blades behind the tier 2 tower. Gives back-to-back kills for Team Empire.
Textbook smoke. They showed Resolution in the bottom lane. I think they showed a hero in the top lane as well, and the remaining 3 heroes look for Samael. It's a kind of risky play, because if EG read this movement and they're on backup behind Samael with defensive heroes, that could have turned into a great counterplay. But they make it hard for EG to at least read what's going on. EG have their vision in the top area of the map, and therefore have no idea what was coming their way. That's a big play from Empire. 2 kills, one of them on Samael's Invoker. His first death. They get a tier 2 and Rezo. He's not done yet.
Yeah, he's going to come up. He's still got a little bit more of that God Strike timing. At least force a reaction out from Evil Geniuses.
Now he's done.
You got it from the Arctic Burn. The spirits are actually bringing Crit down to half of his life. But no one's TPing out to the shrine. They're all coming home.
200 damage on the tier 3. Actually, it's something I've noticed about Resolution in this tournament is that he seems to have a very, very good understanding of how far he can go. And that's why it's very interesting to me to see him dying to this Moonlight Shadow, because that might be the one time in this game where he didn't really have the correct read on what was happening, because you need to be a bit deceitful to trick Resolution to catch him off guard. And he's been having exceptional reads, and his Faceless Void game that we saw yesterday also just reads off. He is dead.
Blast and Roger Moposhka teaming up together beautifully. They played that very, very patiently. They're just letting the creep wave do its thing, and eventually Crit just came out feeling maybe he had the safety, but there's no vision for them on the bottom lane at all. In fact, both of the observer wards from EG, one of them's about to time out on top of their jungle rune, and the other one sitting in front of where the Tier 1 tower used to be of Empire. And they don't see enough from this to really let them know where Empire's moving. So maybe a new smoke ward vision coming up from EG shortly.
Could be, or in the Moonlight Shadow. 45 seconds on that one. But look at the graphs, man. This is a change of pace. EG had these like good 5 minutes, and now they've had 5 bad minutes. Everything on that graph is green, and the experience is pulled in the advantage of Empire already, and it's only a 1k gold lead now for EG. So Empire with a couple of good moves have put themselves in a good position now. Question is, how do they transition? Looks like FN will be going for the magic build. He went for the Maelstrom first. I wonder if he wants to finish the Mjolnir after this Blink Dagger he has queued up, or has different plans later on. It's actually possible to do hybrid builds on Ember, where you have like this early magic damage and then you transition into more physical-oriented line or damage later. Very curious to see what his idea is in this particular game.
Empire's got the primary concept of let's go kill them all if possible. Arteezy is the man who could get caught out. The Echo Slam reveals the real one. They lasso the wrong one. The arrow flies forward. Resolution soaks up with his BKB. Already Zion Arteezy have fallen, so there's no fight here for EG.
Empire are feeling it, man. That's 7 kills in a row. And another tower. Roshan is available. 40 seconds on the PL and the Sanking on 30. They don't care. They're going to go high ground.
According to the game, that was a 5-man Echo Slam.
Yeah, that was Arteezy and a lot of Arteezys.
Yep, every Arteezy
they're going more.
He gets out of range of the Ice Blast. The arrow will connect over on Roger. Meteorite still rolling towards him, so Roger starts to burn, getting hit by the tower. He won't be able to get out this one. Universe will kill him off. And Evil Genius is at least getting the consolation prize as Empire do more chip damage to another Tier 3.
Very nice Meteor from Sumail. He cast it far away from the Shaker, but anticipated that Shaker would be stuck long enough for the Meteor to actually reach. It took like a full 2 seconds before Roger started taking damage from it, but then Cold Snap plus Meteor combo under the tower will secure Sumail that kill. And Empire maybe overextending a little bit there. They got another 300 damage in, but this time on a different Tier 3 tower. With the death of the Shaker, it seems like EG are confident to go for their next move. 4-man smoke, showing Arteezy top. And maybe this time they're hoping that Empire want to go for him again.
The line is drawn to move to the Tier 2 tower. However, both of their observer wards they planted down are primarily looking at the front end of the Roshan pit. One of them probably won't survive as there's already a sentry ward there. But Team Empire, they read this. FN's got a lot of pressure on bottom. He's sending his illusions in with a catapult wave. This may force EG to come back as no one is here. So they leave it to Zai. Mr. 07 to do the work. Blinks in for the Sandstorm at least. Forces FN to back out.
This is one of the benefits you have of having Ember Spirit in a game like this. There's not that great ways of EG for killing him. Especially, they always need at least 2 heroes to get the kill. Maybe even 3. So if he is pushing this wave bottom this far, it very quickly becomes obvious what kind of move he's going for. And Resolution was just hiding, waiting until EG started showing on the map again. Now he's back to farming this top area. Going for the Linkens, by the way, after Blink. You can't even curse him when he gets that. Sven is getting scary, Toby, and it's not only him. The Ember, as we talked about, has a good matchup. He's getting farmed too. EG have kind of, they've kind of dropped the ball in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Haven't really accomplished much.
They've been trying. They've been looking for the opening, but they haven't had the vision to really achieve them. This is going to get harder. Ghosticker's got the Jammer True Sight on him, purchased up by Moposhka, and they're looking for the warding of
a BKB too.
Yeah, he does. Blink, BKB, and 4-star, so he can jump in, trigger the Linkens on the Invoker, and still get out. And if he is that first initiator, you've still got the Linken Sphere, which can be given by either the Ember or potentially the Sven. You can double stack this on your front runner for Team Empire.
This should be
wait, did he just...
He used
okay, no, he walked over the top of an observer ward and didn't kill it.
Oh.
Goes back and then remembers himself.
EG need to keep an eye out for Roshan now. They need to have a feeling. This is the Radiant team that has good pushed out waves. They have God Strength. should be able to kill Roshan pretty easily. Sven can obviously solo it at this point.
I hate to tell you though, they can't keep an Observer Ward. When you got a Batrider around there, they just lost their 2 new Observer Wards they planted, and Crit's only got 1 more left in his infantry at the moment. It's very difficult for EG to establish vision. And Sumail just walked underneath the Observer Ward. Ghostic may believe, he's not close enough for it. He's feeling it, but can't get it.
Sumail playing it safe. He's gonna Alacrity his Forge Spirits, and Resolution is gonna munch them up very easily. Actually, he's gonna lose quite a bit of mana here.
Yeah, got to get rid of those PL illusions, making sure they don't just keep copying on him. So he has to turn and fight him.
They dealt a lot of damage because of that minus armor from Forges.
Look at these Observer Wards as well. So good from Team Empire. Even if EG feels like they've found one of them, they're not going to get both. It's too much of a commitment for the supports, and Resolution's going to start up on Roshan. Meanwhile, FN attacking into the bottom. Zion Arteezy can't get the initiation off, so FN quickly back out again. The Sunstrike scouts at the fact that Roshan is being done. Resolution and Roger are going to be joined by FN inside the pit. Can EG get there in time? The Moonlight Shadow, they're trying to run forward. In comes Zai, goes for the Burrow Strike, just in the target. Resolution killing him. Oh, no, Vegas the Immortal! Snatched out by Zai! Resolution killed him with a cleave. Now they want to get back out this one. Ghosted with the BKB, isolated in the middle of 5 heroes. Baits created by Roger. Blinks down the side, blinks up to try and find him. They're trying to disengage, but Poshka won't be so lucky. Arteezy is all over him like a hot rash, blocking him in the corner with all the rest of the Arteezy 5-man team. And they may try now, EG, to gain something on the map for the first time in 20 minutes.
Split-second decision there from Zai, just going for it. He blinks in, gets the stun. Actually, he didn't even stun the Sven. The Sven got the BKB up very quickly, but
I thought he was dead.
So this is one of those moments where having 6 slots at this point in time, Rezo wants to have all his items on him, because if the fight breaks out a little bit earlier, he needs all of his items available. But when Roche is about to drop, you want to swap an item, and we're going to see
Here
it
it is
right now.
again.
So Zai goes in. Rezo currently has 6 items.
It too.
He currently has 6 items in his inventory, so he can't pick it up. Yes, the stun on Zai doesn't get the kill, and now Zai has already taken it. He swaps in the Mask of Madness to try and get it. Rezo's like, you know,
yeah,
it's one of those difficult moments because you need to move the mouse down there and move that item into your backpack, and it takes time, and Zai's just faster because he already prepared a slot.
The 0-7 SK that hits 0 stuns because the slot.
Oh, mid lane, we don't have time for that. Big kill!
Mid-focus gone, the Ice Blast is flying in!
Does a buyback. But this should be forced maybe by Empire here.
Yep, they're coming. FN's already arrived. Defensive Spirit, they can start chipping away at the building.
Defending is not easy right now for EG without that Invoker. He is their primary defense. Of course, there's other spells that are annoying to deal with, such as Splinter Blast, Starstorm, Speed Swarm. But the thing is, if Empire don't want to push, this is at least a full minute of complete map control. They can push out all the waves, force EG to camp inside their base once again. These core picks are extremely important. Sumail has now died twice. Been a long time since the last kill on him, but they're just as important every time.
Yeah, spacing it out, and it's more and more money. Was Resolution who found it, so more cash coming the way to Sven, who's looking for a Bloodthorn. As the BKBs get lower, they'll become more and more effective. At the moment, Sumail's still holding his 10-second BKB. And you got another one on the way from Universe, so this is going to make it 2 BKBs. Obviously, the Phantom Lancer does not want to build into this. He was actually looking at the Skadi originally, but now he switched his mind and is going for the Lincoln Sphere.
Honestly, I'm wondering if you want to get one.
Get out of there. The cold beat, the Ice Blast, it is just too much. FN jumps right on top of him, and Arteezy, he actually finishes Roger! Hits the two-man! Perfect hit! FN will now get a double kill, and EG retreat, retreat, retreat!
Oh no, Arteezy actually completed that TP. I can't believe he went in for that. Crit was already completely dead. The Invoker was still dead. There's no way Evil Geniuses are able to retaliate in this fight, and just, this is a really greedy TP that gets immediately punished. Now Empire with 3 deaths. This time they're going to try to do some structural damage for sure.
They're coming for the bottom lane. The mid lane is going to push in. It may get close enough to turn off that backdoor regeneration, but now, here comes Resolution. Beats the tower, arrow flies forward. He'll just walk to the side, already Lincoln Sphere being triggered on him. But they take the tier 3 tower, this will open up the shrines, and Empire are happy with that. They're not going to force the issue much further than FN chipping the mid tier 3 tower. But they're back, they got the objective, and they hold the lead. And let's actually see it from Arteezy, from the perspective here in the mid.
So Crit is already dead, and now Arteezy completes this TP, has to try and disengage, immediately caught out, and this is 2 nice kills. He even stacks up with Zai, just it's a bit reminiscent of EG's games against Newbie yesterday, where EG are off to a good start, their lanes are going well, and this later on in the mid-game, it's just like things start falling apart. They're not finding the moves, they're making these key mistakes where they're out of position, and Empire are just pouncing on them with these very mobile and fast heroes that just kill them too quickly. And EG don't get a time to stabilize and establish themselves in a fight before it's over.
And this is more than crumbling. Like, they've swung this net worth in the last 20 minutes by... Well,
15,000.
I was going to, yeah, 15 grand. It goes up in the experience by almost 20,000. It's not a minor swing.
Definitely isn't. And it's at this point you start wondering for EG. Okay, the BKB on the Mirana is very close, as you mentioned. The BKB on Sumail is completed. Do you actually need to get a BKB on PL? You don't want to, but honestly, how is Arteezy going to play these fights? If he goes in, there's so many things he needs to worry about. If he gets a BKB, he can at least limit the options that Empire have. Okay, then they can't really counter his Shaker anymore. The AA is not so scary. He can't get Sven stunned. He can't get messed with by the Ember Spirit, who has a magic damage build. You know, it's like, it sucks. You can still get lassoed, and you can still get killed by Sven, but is it better or worse than the alternative, which is building a lot of stats and then you're countered by everything? Now there's even a Bloodthorn on this Sven of Resolution, so even more value in the BKB. He does have the Manta, of course, but if that's already used, now Sven can single-handedly just slam him in one stun.
He's 39 minutes in and already very happy with all six planets in his slots. Ghosting, very happy to find this pickup. It's Arteezy, the Ice Blast chilled in, FN. Even adding a Spirit for good measure, but Arteezy down for 65 seconds. Buyback is available, but the bottom lane continues to remain under siege. And this is getting very, very difficult for EG.
This is the game you want to step up, you know, this is the game on the big stage, and Ghostic is maybe playing his best game of the tournament. His Batrider in this game has been outstanding. 5-1-11, has found so many openings, has been able to not only find the openings, but also assist Miposhka in the warding missions, where they've gotten the intel that they needed to make the kills successful later on. And EG just seems like a completely choked out team with no control of the map.
Here comes Resolution. That's actually Godstrength being committed to kill off 2 Forge Spirits, but I think he realized he doesn't have a creep wave. So the Godstrength still wearing off. Ghostic's looking for his opportunity. They put the Linked Sphere protection onto him as now the run forward. Oh. Arrow almost caught by 3 players, but, well, they're matrixing Neoing that. Feeding into the melee racks. Where's this defense from Evil Genius? Sumail burns his BKB nice and early. Looking for the kill onto Roger with a Force-Up. Gets him out of range of the Sunstrike. And Evil Geniuses, for now, Empire will back out.
Great hold. They didn't expend Arteezy's buyback. They took a little bit of damage on the melee barracks, which are going to heal themselves up. The BKB was even expended by Sven there, so a little bit of a commitment from him to no avail. Oh, alright, Sumail also used his BKB, so you could call that a draw perhaps, but under the circumstances of being 5-on-4 in their own base, EG are probably happy that they didn't end up having to lose either a buyback or a barracks.
It's the fact that Sumail takes his BKB to a 9-second while Resolution's burning his so much, he's already down to 5. Yeah. So there's not a lot of immunity time for Sven just to stand his ground and hit, and that's what he wants to have happen. And looking at his next item build, I'm assuming this is going to be the Resolution special, where he's like, you know what, I've got 6 items, about to have 7, just put boots in the backpack and pick up a full butterfly. Yeah,
get the Flutter in the fight instead. It is just a vastly superior item to the Treads later on in these fights. Also should be, since it costs like 4 times as much.
Sumail's TPing in. It's like they want to have this fight. Universe Lab hit the arrow. They got the stun. The arrow will connect for Resolution. The BKB comes off. Ice Blast is coming over. The River crit! That damage is huge. Resolution, however, is now going to hit the ground. No protection from BKB. Sven is going to go down. Roger can only clean up the creep wave with his Echo Slam. Minimal effective damage onto EG, and they keep the momentum going. Hitting into Roger. Universe becomes unstoppable. The big things. No Echo Slam. No ES. He's got no buyback for a full minute. And EG might be able to force the buyback out on Sven. It's a long way to go, however, and they're turning their attention towards Roshan. He's not back yet. It's 2 seconds till he could possibly spawn. Do they get lucky? Do they get lucky? And they don't. It's a minute and 10.
10 seconds after the Sven. So I want to say this respawn timer maybe favors Empire, as we're going to see the fight here again. So Rezo not getting the BKB off on the initial Sand King stun could have been a disaster. He still got it off just in time, but a little bit of miscoordination there. The lasso on the Wyvern and Sven at the same time going on the Sand King. They have 2 different targets. Crit is 100% dead there if they just combine, but you know, high pressure environment, high pressure moments, sometimes you make the wrong decision, and EG capitalized in a big way with those 2 kills, and they desperately needed that. They were starting to fall so far behind. This is a little bit of a dip back the other way, but no objectives for EG. No tower, no Roche, just additional farm and push on the waves.
It's getting a hold back on this game. It's stopping the grass from going out of control. They have started to dip back the way of the Dire side, not by much. That's what momentum is all about. And at the moment, they're looking to gain more. Put Sumail on the front lines. Let him be the initiator. Catch out these cores. That's what they're looking for. Sumail is now only a quarter of a level away from having level 25.
Guess who already has it?
It's gonna be...
It's the Ember Spirit, actually.
Of all of the heroes. I was waiting for you to say,
25.
are you ready for the plus 65 damage talent tree?
I think he's going to take the Stormhammer talent. I feel like that talent is almost always better. It's a 5-second cooldown on a 2-second stun. It's crazy good in these late game situations.
They're waiting out the Sunstrike. There's a PL illusion. Empire want to kill off Roshan, but EG is watching like hawks. Except Beastmaster isn't viable, so they're watching like Arteezy's PL illusions.
Careful here though. Sumail is in an awkward position. Roger actually going to Shadow Amulet here.
Oh, at least he can set up. He'd had a hard time getting in for the fights. He would really not finish up the Shadow Blade, having that Echo Slam fall short in the last mid-fight.
Learn from his teammate who isn't here. Go down mid and just hide right in the middle of the lane.
That's right, it's the emails that get late at night. I wish you were here, but by the way, you should do this in the game. EG is just waiting so long in the Team Empire jungle. They're waiting for them to come down, but Empire is also waiting for Roshan. The Forest Spirit's going to scan up a posture as well as Resolution at the pit. But of course, the PL Illusions are pushing into bottom lane. Team Empire are faced with a difficult choice. Do they try and defend? The Ice Blast will do a decent part to defend that, and they do send FN down. Easiest man to get back, thanks to the Ember Spirit with the Remnants.
This is a very, very tense moment. This fight is going to determine a lot. There's no buyback on the Phantom Lancer. Invoker, I believe, does have it just barely.
Splinter Blast reveals the position. Crits on the front line. Sumail, they're using him as bait. The 4-star gets crit away. Virus Strike and the Echo Slam. Is there enough space? Goes in on the BKB off. The Fidget done. It locks up EG. They're trying to retreat. Get away from the damage of Resolution. He's already cleared 2 entwined, but they want more. The Lance on the PL. Doppelganger is there. You can make a couple more Arteezy. Trying to run west. They don't know where the real one is. FN's going after him. They need to kill off PL. 2 seconds. He's got Menace available. More Arteezy down the hill. Which one's the real one? FN make a choice. Side of fifth Arteezy. TP out, but he can't make it in time. Ice Blast was coming, but FN got there first, and no buyback for the PL. Will allow now Empire to go into Roshan if they want it, if not more.
Crit really needs to watch his positioning. I don't think he can be the one getting jumped on. This Wyvern is way too important for their counter engages. It feels like forever since we've seen a Cold Embrace and a Winter's Curse. He's always getting killed so early. And the moment this Wyvern is jumped on, it's like, it's just a paradise for Sven. During this BKB, nobody's going to touch him. His 5 seconds of complete domination just runs from one hero to the next, gets a couple of cleaves off, and when they finally get him under control, they've already lost 2 heroes and a half, and the fight's over. It can't, if they want to bait someone, it can't be that Wyvern. It has to be someone else. But who do you throw on the front lines? Do you want to throw the PL in there? He could just get blown up as well.
But you could always just throw the bigger one that always got killed before. Why don't you throw Sai? Is that enough?
Throw him to the wolves, I guess. I mean,
it seems to be the most expendable one out of EG, because you can't have PL, you can't have Invoker there, you can't have Mirana there, and you need the curse control.
And the really big issue is that EG just don't have information. They can't. We're talking about who to throw to the wolves because it seems almost impossible for EG to get the jump. It's very hard for them. This, to me, when this Wyvern dies, this fight is almost unplayable. Like, instantly dead. We see the Shaker with a quick reaction, great play from Roger, just sniping down that Sanking immediately. And at this point, what do you do 3 on 5? You've expended your BKBs, FN's on fire.
Time to come back to the fight. Got one quick stun. Moonlight Shadow gives the protection. Crit looking to the bottom lane. It's FN with that Sleight of Fist. Chris just trying to make it to the tree lines and away to safety.
Should be okay.
And he will be able to do that, and so will Sumail. They want to fight from inside their base, not outside. Fight from the position of power, from the position of height.
Wait, where did the cheese go? Oh, Shaker has Shaker has in his backpack, and the Aegis is on FN. So big advantages going the way of Empire. 10k lead, Aegis and cheese in their inventories, and EG are back to the comfort of their home, which is not really the comfort they would like to have right now. They would like to have the comfort of the opposing team's home, and they haven't really been able to kind of almost cross the river for 20 minutes now, 25. It is a really difficult game. This is Batrider Paradise. He's actually, in my opinion, uncountered in this game. We've seen so many Batrider games where if you don't have that Batrider counter, he seems to take over games. You could say, in a way, Cold Embrace is a counter, but just not against this lineup, man. If you Cold Embrace someone, they're still in a lot of trouble. So much magic damage from Empire. this great lineup with mixed damage types.
The only counter is Zai jumping in to get the Bar Strike, but with the BKB up, that doesn't even work.
And he killed himself to do it.
Yep.
It's very unrealistic that you're going to get a blink stun, unless you can get like a very quick blink into stun backwards and then force staff. You could maybe get out.
Ghost Stick, try and take to the hills at the moment. The Force Spirit's getting rid of the Observer Ward. EG are definitely on the defense. Protect everything. Matt Ryder's Firefly doesn't have a lot of time left, and thanks to the very low cooldown, the Tornado for Sumail, they can chip away at these towers quite nicely.
Oh, arrow connected.
5 seconds, but it's way too far to venture out. In fact, at this point, even if Empire catch an arrow, it may be the bait that EG does not want to bite.
It's good if it's on FN. I think then Empire will win the fight if EG hard commit on this Emperor. They probably have to wait until this Aegis expires. And that means even more gold gain for Empire. This is the classic late game situation where you have Aegis and Cheese and you have the map control hero. EG just are going to get massively outfarmed. Look at FN's confidence just going into the enemy base, clearing up the creep wave, jumping out, just keeping EG completely at bay. And the way I see it, the best play EG can possibly pull off is trying to bait Bad Rider to lasso a fake PL. That would be the start of a good fight for them, but Ghostic just isn't taking it.
Sumail, maybe they find
good
a moment. Arteezy's up here, Ghostic blinks away, Diffuser Blade already slowed him down, but Sumail, they're actually backing off. You talked about fear. Like, you've got confidence from FN, and you've got this living fear from EG. Anywhere outside the base is not safe.
That's just not the way to start that kill either. You can't start it with a Diffuser Blade from PL. It has to be the Invoker with an instant damage sword.
Oh, Resolution, he's inside the base looking for that opening. Sumail, as well as Rez, do burn both their BKBs. Blink Burrow Strike, they do find Ghostic. This is a nice target, but Searing Chain Zai may not have the life for a Sunstrike coming down. The damage is negligible, and Roger, he controls Sumail on the backline. Now the curse is out. It holds the Earthshaker Deafening Blast, means no real damage is being done to him. This fight split off into multiple parts. Universe is actually doing the damage with the Maelstrom, but Steering chained up. He will fall down as well. There's more RTGs to continue the fight, but they do not see Roger. He sees everybody else. A 2-for-2 trade-off. So the initiation is gone. The BKBs are burnt. Roger able to grab that Empire gem and then get back out.
That would have been a big win for EG if they recovered the Gem of Empire. Even trading 2-for-2 like that would have been very nice, but yeah, they bring it back, and will probably, as a result, keep controlling the map as they have. Very important to note, though, this Sven is starting to struggle a little bit. I'm wondering if Resolution is thinking about going for a Refresh Rod instead. Oh, he's just thinking about killing crit, but he doesn't have vision.
Whoops.
Well, if there was a... Oh, actually, there's no counterplay there, so...
Yeah.
Linken's has been really nice to see. He would definitely get cursed here if he didn't have a Linken, but can't go for it. Zai, like you said, he kind of has to go in. Good Cold Embrace, but it's not enough. Empire. FN has the damage.
It was enough.
That curse was important.
Yeah, Sumail needed to be freed for that fight. It's from both sides this time around. Like, EG got what we were talking about. They had Zai being able to get that initiation stun that EG can then move around. The problem was then created by Roger onto Sumail, but Winter Wyvern did his job. The Cold Embrace, he didn't make it easy for Team Empire to grab one kill and move on to the next. That's what happened in the mid-fight, where you had Resolution just swing down onto crit, move on to another target that's already half low, and then just push everybody else of EG back again.
Yeah. It's crucial that this BKB usage from Sven doesn't net kills. If they can avoid that, then they're kind of playing 5-on-4.5, I would say, after. Like, it's not like Sven can't do anything, but he's getting very controlled by all of this lockdown, especially from Sumail. So, the scary part for EG is, what if Empire get the jump? If they get the jump, Sven comes in with a BKB and has a target, it gets dangerous very fast. Again, Wyvern's positioning is crucial, and the big difference this time is he's able to cast his spells.
Resolution now has the butterfly on him, and he's going Refresher Orb as the next item.
Yeah, there we go.
Double the BKB.
That's what he needed.
Double the silence.
As I was saying, maybe getting it over Butterfly would have been a good choice as well, but he wants both.
Yep.
And he doesn't really have much reason to worry that he won't be able to farm them both. If Empire want, they have like this iron grip on the map for quite a while, kind of keeping EG in the stranglehold inside of their base for, it seems like, an eternity now. And this is when you start wondering, you think back on the group stage, how many games have Empire had like this? Yesterday they had the game against Cloud9 for over an hour. They were way further ahead in that one. It felt like almost impossible for Cloud9 to win that game. This game is winnable for EG. It definitely feels winnable, but it's hard. Will Empire be able to control the map, get the Aegis advantage once again? And more importantly, will they run their heads against a wall, or will they actually start getting some important objectives? 52 minutes, no barracks. The first lane is kind of insignificant at this point. It doesn't matter that much any longer.
There's enough defense power from EG to defend one lane of Rax. 2 would be difficult, 3 would be almost impossible for them.
Yeah.
Just because of the pressure that EG Empire will apply. But you do actually have one thing in this fight, which is unfamiliar territory just at the moment because the item is kind of ass. The side device is over on the Invoker. There is nothing like the Legion Commander. There's no press the attack. There's nothing to break him free.
No Lotus.
They're looking for the Lotus Orb on the Earthshaker, but it's still going to take time for Roger to get there.
Yep. It's a big item for a while.
Yeah.
He still needs to play around the Lincolns, though. The 2 Lincolns on both Emperor and Sven.
Stick. He's going to find a target. Zai into the Sandstorm. Quick 4-stamp away. They have the Observer and Sentry watching Ghostic, and he knows it thanks to the Gem of True Sight. They'll get rid of the Observer Ward, making Samael blind on the map. Crit's also a long way out with Zai. They are in almost no man's land inside their jungle. Both have TP scrolls available, but they're like trying to make a break for the tree line. Crit jumps inside the Invis, another Sandstorm from Zai, and every player from EG who was up on the northern side have now returned home.
And FN takes care of that top wave. He doesn't kill it off entirely, but he gets most of the creeps down to half, so this momentum in the top lane should shift, and in addition to that, Rezo is going to cut this creep wave top. So once again, EG playing one lane.
Or Roger, really? He's found a target. The Shadow Blade, he's right on top of him, Arteezy. You got multiple to choose from. They're going for the individual one. Instance up from the Echo Slam. They have to control him. Here comes your Ice Blast, and the lasso will hold in there. Arteezy will fall, and Empire get the pick off they've been waiting for. And they may get more resolutions ready for the mid lane. Universe has BKB resolution, can go for the short range hit. And exactly what he does. Not only does he get the Orchid off against the Storm Bolt, but before there's a BKB counter. Ouch. And Universe is gone. Both have buyback.
I like watching big crits. It's also why I like watching PA games. It's a very rewarding thing to see. Boom.
Resolution brings the big one, plus 549 damage when God Strength is turned on. And that's on top of his basic 222.
2 dead cores. This is buyback forcing territory. I will be very impressed if EG don't have to buyback here. They've had some great defensive plays so far in their base, but this might just be the limit of what their lineup can actually perform.
Well, Samael's at least trying to get rid of the mid lane, but Resolution's coming in through the bottom. Ghostic already with Firefly up, looking for that target to move forward onto. Crit. As the Splinter Blast forces Resolution to blink himself further away. The melee ranks under siege, fortifications available. But you got 37 seconds until they're back up, and FN is taking the tier 3 tower up on top. They baited Samael up. Where is that control? Empire, they are leaving. You got to buy back out from Arteezy. And do they regroup and go back in again for the Mirana one? It doesn't look like it. 20 seconds is too long, is too short a time.
Oh, you get Roche. I think this was everything they came for. They were hoping to force a buyback or get a barracks. They get the best buyback they could get. I think the Mirana would have been less valuable. And now they're straight over to the pit.
They see it
knowing
now.
that this is respawn. And you feel like EG should come out and contest this. I just don't know if they can get there fast. They don't have their shrine to connect with. They're going to try, it looks like. Smoke is ready on Crit.
The Sunstrike scattered out, both the fact that Roshan is alive, as well as the fact that they started it, but the Echo Slam, it captures Invoker! The Fidger as well! Sanky can't help out, the BKB lasso onto Crit, using out the Winter Wyvern. There's no curse available now, he's still silenced up, rooted to the ground, FN's gonna double kill him with a Stormbolt, Resolution finishes off the Wyvern, buybacks are coming left, right, and center here for Evil Geniuses, while Arteezy still wants to fight. He has Samael here. They have to make these buybacks worth it. The 3 cores are here ready to fight. FN's BKB triggered for the moment. Spirits himself away. That BKB got another 3 seconds left on it. They'll stick with him. The Tornado a little bit too early. Roger still waiting for his control. Arteezy looking at Maposhka. At least he would love to, but he can't see him. An Invis rune spawned, and Maposhka can walk away from him.
Empire are playing really, really well in these fights and in this game. They're taking so much advantage of the vision that they have, and they're playing without fear for the most part. You know, when they're playing with fear, I feel like they have good reason to. Well, EG wishes they were playing with fear right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's their coach. Arrow flies forward. Roger not going to walk into it, but everybody just chipping and saying hi. Roger, no Echo Slam, but the Fissure catching 2. Here comes your Ice Blast, double stun with the lasso. This is huge, this is massive. Universe is gone. Wyvern as well in the grave with no second life. Zai can help out. Ghostic doesn't have his BKB. The arrow flies forward. The Creep's going to actually tank that one up. As Empire, again they move backwards. Arteezy again moves forward, looking for the fight, looking for an opening, but Empire have no holes in their defense. Zai wants resolution, but his blink's too good as well. Straight back towards the shrine.
You are a true friend.
Look at this gold graph, and look at the last 30 minutes of gameplay. This is 3 red dots at the bottom. EG have found 3 kills in half an hour. and that's a kill on a Shaker, a kill on the Sven, or actually maybe they got 4 kills, I think, and a kill on the AA. That's it. It's just been this complete domination from Empire across the map. They've kind of had 10 times as many successful moves, and it's just showing. That fight was so huge again. They don't get objectives, but they kind of... Was that 3 buybacks that were expended from EG? I think the Phantom Lancer expended his on the defense, the Mirana used her buyback, Sumail used his buyback to try to take that fight. Did Zai also buyback? No, he didn't.
No, he's the only
don't
one.
have that luxury.
Everyone else has a
Crit
buyback
did.
going 5 minutes or more.
So Crit did as well. So that's 4 buybacks on cooldown for EG. If Empire get any half-decent fight here, the game is over.
Yep. And this is where EG, again, we're talking about the miracle play from them. They still do hold their racks. They do still hold their base intact. So at least not dealing with the split push, like real problem that Empire can give if they have momentum in a wave. Instead, they just send FN into the other lane when they were attacking the top tier 3 town. That's why it's only got 184 HP. The bottom lane is exposed. So Team Empire will crack a racks with this push. The question is, how much does it cost them to do it, if anything? And they're gonna smoke. They're moving closer. 5 heroes all grouped up. They want an opening. They have no vision inside the EG base at the moment.
No Godstrand for 20, so this is a little bit of a weaker resolution right now.
Dies on the retreat. Firefly, it doesn't see in deep enough. They put down the Observe Ward. Now they do see the SK. And while Blink Lasso, they got Crit. He doesn't have buyback. He needs to get this curse off. The Glimmer Cape hiding Invis, but where's your curse? The silence lasts too long. It was the Bloodborne of Resolution doing the work. Blink Strike trying to catch out the ES. Remember, that Echo Slam is a problem, but not if he doesn't have the mana for it. Roger going to be brought down by Arteezy. Mid lane still being attacked. The Hex over an FN, as well as the EMP burn. If they can get rid of his mana, not enough of it. He still has a 2k mana pull, but the Strike catching Ghost and EG. They're chipping and they're getting sort of opportunities, but no big kills. Just get Resolution.
Oh my God!
Downside. Mercy, mercy, please. FN wants more as well, but he's got no mana. Arteezy, well, freeze yourself in time and space. The Cold Fiend will latch. Resolution's back. So is the Bat Rider with the BKB. Resolution wants to kill on Universe. He's trying to close the distance. Universe, no lead. Silence up. That may be enough. The Shrine can't do the work. FN under the cover of the BKB. Right on top of Sumail. You'll send him up towards the BKB from Sumail. But the physical damage is penetrating the immunity while he's being lassoed up. This is a slaughter fest. It's a worthwhile killing spree at the moment. Empire will take the mid lane out. FN wants more. Arteezy trying to defend it. The curse is out. Resolution, he's your friend.
Oh,
Don't
nice
kill your
force
friend.
there.
He pushes him away, and now the cleave goes to work. It's good game. It's done. Resolution, Empire, they take game 1 against Evil Geniuses in the lower bracket of TI.
Damn, they look really good that game. That's scary, man. That's a team that has grown a lot since the early group stage. Very, very impressive. And EG at the same time, this is their 3rd consecutive loss at the main stage. We saw a similar situation from Team Liquid. They pulled it